Well, good Tuesday morning, all you nerds out there joining me here. It is February 6th, and we are currently live streaming here on Nerd News. This broadcast lives jump into the live chat and talk to us about whatever's going on here and, well, in your life. We want to know. We care. I'm Joseph Craven for Nerd News Network in 3, presented by Super Squad D. And if you're not on to, that channel, if you're not a fan of that, what are you doing? Go ahead and, click and subscribe over there as well. Oh yeah, like and subscribe this video. Off to a bad start. Tell you what, grab your coffee, grab your news. Wait, I'm your news. Let's do this. All right, well, the Super Bowl brought us a handful of things. Some entertaining football, a good look at the great Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. But discerning Marvel fans probably noticed something very, very important in the updated Avengers Infinity War teaser trailer that was released. It was a lot of new content, nothing really that gave anything away, but new content. And it's not the baby or teenage Groot that stands out here. Tyler already talked about that on Monday's episode. If you missed that, then go back over there so you can get as many news tidbits as you possibly can handle all at once. No, we're talking about Tony Stark's new Iron Man suit. The Iron Man bleeding edge suit, apparently making an appearance in the MCU. In a very, very quick snippet, we see Tony Stark's Iron Man suit kind of materializing on his body, much different than what we've seen in the other Iron Man movies and the other Marvel MCU movies that Tony Stark or Iron Man appears in. A lot of times they come in onto his body. He had the briefcase suit in Iron Man 2, I believe. Most of the time it's just flying suits with the AI that just kind of wrap around him. But this we actually see less of the transforming Iron Man suit and more of the inside of his body, part of him Iron Man suit. What is called the Bleeding Edge suit was introduced in Matt Fraction and Salvador Larroca's Invincible Iron Man number 25. It was a suit of armor composed entirely of nanites that came out of Tony Stark himself. The suit was a part of him. Along with that, we kind of see what appears to be an arc reactor in Tony's chest, something that we haven't really seen the full arc reactor in several movies now. So looks like we're going to see a different kind of Iron Man suit and maybe Tony, advancing a little bit more technologically speaking. It's very interesting that the MCU has always pushed for Iron Man to get more and more advanced as the movies go on. Switching over to DC, in comic news and, graphic novel news, they have announced that they are trying to reach out to some younger viewers with 2 new young adult and middle school age reading initiatives, DC Ink and DC Zoom. 2 titles have been announced for DC Ink, which is going to be geared towards young adults and features some of the top young adult authors out there right now. We have Harley Quinn Breaking Glass by Mariko Tamaki and Steve Pugh, and Mara by Danielle Page. 2 new graphic novels that are supposed to come out from the comic company as part of DC Ink, as I mentioned, geared towards young adults. The younger crowd can jump into DC Zoom, which is going to be graphic novels geared towards more like middle school age, I believe. This choice of characters for these 2 DC Ink titles is pretty interesting, and it's drawing a little bit of some questions and some controversy. Of course, you have probably is a pretty good decision on DC's part to avoid putting out new Superman or Batman stories, kind of trying to avoid the standard big names and branch out a little bit more, get a little bit more creative. Mira in particular is one that a lot of people are very interested to see. I mean, what will they do with who's the character who's commonly just known as like Aquaman's lady in a lot of ways. Very, very big possibilities for this character, and also just how good is this artwork on this cover? Isn't that gorgeous? On one hand, though, in this attempt to bring in newer, younger readership, you're also starting off with Harley Quinn, a character who is very popular and a lot of times, though, tends to be the victim of over sexualization in a lot of the stories that she's a part of, which makes some people worry that this, if it weren't geared towards young adults, if it was geared towards a younger age group, could some of that content end up being a little bit too risque to be appropriate for that age group? But I mean, that's why we're all glad that DC isn't trying to market Harley Quinn towards like toddlers, I guess. What are your thoughts on this? You interested to see what they'll do with these characters? Do you think it's a good idea for them to reach out specifically to young adult and high school, middle school age readers? Comment in the live chat. We want to see it. We got our moderators out there keeping tabs on everything while I'm presenting the news. And, of course, if this isn't live, you're watching later on, comment on the video. Start the discussion there. In streaming news, Amazon has announced that they are starting to develop a new Conan the Barbarian series. The internet giant announced recently that they're trying to bring Conan back to, I guess, television, whatever you call, internet streaming shows, TV. Do you still call them TV shows? We'll call them TV shows for now. Conan has obviously spent a lot of time. Conan, not Conan. That's a different TV guy. Conan the Barbarian has spent plenty of time on the screen, both big and small, dating back to the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies of the early 80s and the TV series in the 90s with Rafe Moeller playing Conan. But this is the first attempt at making a Conan series in 20 years. Of course, Jason Momoa portrayed the Barbarian in 2011's big screen title, Conan the Barbarian, and it wasn't received very well. So this is an interesting attempt by Amazon to try to take a character that hasn't been in a series in 20 years, and the last attempt at doing anything with it was not a commercial success, and do something else. That being said, obviously, fantasy series are very popular right now. So the big question is, will Amazon try to go full Game of Thrones with this sort of setup? A lot of, mature content with Conan. Obviously, the Barbarian has a lot of mature content to offer from the comics. So that's the big question. What do you think Amazon will do with this series? And would you watch Conan the Barbarian on Amazon streaming? Finally, production has actually begun on Shazam, starring Zachary Levi. There was a bit of time in there in which we kind of worried that Shazam would never actually happen, but it seems as though things are finally moving forward, and things are actually being filmed by now. Not only that, but a synopsis has finally been posted for the movie online, which, doesn't mean anything. They're filming a couple scenes and they put out a synopsis, so that takes like 5 minutes. But the synopsis is giving a lot of fans a lot of hope. It doesn't give away too much about the movie itself, other than it seems to be aiming for a more lighthearted and family-friendly tone than the other DC movies. So this will be very interesting to see where they go with this. They're trying to really play into the fact that the character of Shazam is, deep down inside a 14-year-old boy who stumbles into muscular physique and superpowers. What will he do with them? What would we actually do if any of us, as a young teenager, all of a sudden woke up and had superpowers? Would we actually be super responsible with it? Would we be a Peter Parker, Spider-Man type? Great power comes great responsibility. Would we be like that, or would we goof off a little bit and see what we could get away with now that we had superpowers? That seems to be the tone that Shazam is going for, and which then therefore makes sense, the hiring of Zachary Levi, who can play that whimsical tone very, very well. It's going to basically be the movie Big, but with more muscles, it seems. So there's the question of, what do you want to see out of this movie now that we know it's finally in production? Do you want it to be more lighthearted? Would you like to see a few more serious snippets thrown in? Is this a family film? Or will this tie into, the bigger DCEU, like a lot of people hope it will be? There's even been rumors that Zachary Levi would love to have a Wonder Woman cameo in the movie. What do you think? What do you want to see? What do you expect to happen? Like, with DC, you have to go, this is what I'd like to see, but this is what I expect will happen when it comes to DCEU movies. Comment. Let me know. That's pretty much going to wrap up my time with you this morning here on this fine Tuesday, February 6th? Gosh. Ugh. Where's the time going? Thank you for joining here on this live stream. Shout out to everyone in the live chat comments. I haven't been keeping track of them because I've, been on camera. But hope you've enjoyed what we're doing here in this soft launch week here at N3. Give us some feedback on what you want to see us do in the future, in all of our future videos and endeavors. And be sure to like and subscribe or whatever it is you're supposed to do in the social media age here, and also Super Squad D, our main channel, or our other channel. I really shouldn't pick favorites with our channels. And any other news that is going on that you caught wind of that you want to hear our opinions on or you want to talk about, comment in this live chat or comment on the video once the video has gone live and the live stream has ended with the news that you thought maybe we missed or that you just want to get an extra opinion on. Start the discussion there because, this is America and that's what we do. We comment on things. Whether or not it's a good decision, we comment. All right, for N3, I'm Joseph Craven. And you? Well, you're just the best around. Nothing's going to ever keep you down. Thanks for watching.